Bu cimri od 6-7
marry a 90-year-old.
Bu cimri od 6-7 child. Would you have sex with a 9-year-old child?
9-year-old, I will
Would you have sex with a 9-year-old child?
Yes, of course.
That's a pedophile.
Yeah, so the punishment for apostasy in Islam. A lot of the time we ask this question, what is the punishment for apostasy in Islam? And a more interesting question for me recently has been, to what extent can liberalism, or does liberalism, or do liberal philosophers talk about this? Because that's for me a really interesting discussion.
If my daughter reached the age of menstruation at 9 years old, I would say you are ready. What's it? You are ready to get married.
And that's why the translators put for, not to the Prophet.
When you do a deep dive is when things get very, very awkward and difficult. And this isn't new. This is from the time of the Sahaba. This is not a joke. The issue of Qur'an caused confusion to somebody whom the Prophet ﷺ said, if you want to listen to the Quran directly, listen to Ubay. These are very, very difficult issues. It has holes in it. That's what I'm going to say. The standard narrative does not answer some very pressing questions.
Nothing, boy. You're finished already. Look at me. Look at me. You know you're done. You are. Ali.
Now I've caught you like the boy that you are. You're finished. You are finished. You're finished in my presence. Now I've caught you like the boy that you are. You're finished. You are finished. You're finished in my presence. Now I've caught you like the boy that you are. You're finished. You are
when
finished.
It says it is you who we worship and you we ask for help, Christians are wondering, who is Allah talking to?
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
Who is talking? It is
Allah,
you
Allah
who we
talking.
worship. So Allah is talking about himself.
Yes.
Allah talks to himself. Yeah, I agree.
For example,
Praying
you
for.
can pray
Yeah.
for your mom.
Yeah.
If she's sick, you can
So
pray
Allah
for
prays
your friend.
for.
Yeah, he's praying for people.
Allah's praying for people.
Yeah.
That's what he said, not blessings.
Then God told him, no, Musa, tell him, yes, I do, but the way I am praying.
So you admit God said, yes, I do.
So God praying, yes.
That if Muslims went to war with non-Muslims, then the result of the war would be that if Muslims are victorious, they would pick up the spoils of war. All of the equipment that were left behind, the swords and the shields and the spears and the arrows and bows and all of that, but also the personnel. They would take the personnel as prisoners, as may happen at the end of any war. But in those days, there was not a developed prison system to deal with prisoners of war, and prisoners were taken in as slaves, and then the women were taken as captives and then allotted to the male soldiers or sold on the open market. If they were allotted to a male soldier, it was taken for granted that the male soldier would then have access to her sexually. It was taken for granted that the male soldier would then have access to her sexually.
And how does consent play into this at all, or can we understand anything about consent from this end? Like, does the female slave have to consent to that, or is it kind of like because she's owned and so therefore?
In the classical thought, the understanding is that by virtue of the fact that she's owned, she does not have the right to consent. Or to withhold herself from her master. The master has the full right over her, and her consent does not play anything in this relationship.
Wallahi, every single land, every single country, wallahi, with all their governments and all their military force and all their might and all their science and all their money and all their know-how, all with the exception of none, every country, every tree, every grain of sand, every mountain, every river, every ocean, wallahi, every star, every sun, every moon, every single planet, every single angel, the billions and billions and billions of angels, all of them, with the exception of none, Mikael, Jibrail, Israfil, all, the first heaven, the second heaven, the third heaven, the fourth heaven, the fifth heaven, the sixth heaven, the seventh heaven, the ocean above it, the eight that carry the flame of Allah,
the water,
the arsh of Allah, all are dead, all are dead.
It says, and fight those who believe.
Fight those who believe not in Allah in the last day. Hold on a second. This must be some mistake here. I think this is just a typo, I think. Let me check it out. I actually have a Quran. Let me check it up on my Quran. This is obviously a typo. We're going to get down to the bottom of this. Hold on. Let me see what it says over here. Let me grab my little notes over here. This can't be. It says here, all right. David, it doesn't say that. It says fight those who believe not in Allah in the last day. Well, can we change the topic to what we all have in common? That's actually a much better topic, don't you think? I mean, actually, because we do have a lot in common. With the moderator, would that be okay? We could just change that topic? No. Fight those who believe not in Allah in the next day.
You're an intelligent young man, and it would be a shame if something happened to you. You little boy! You little boy! You bastard!